One of these men took over golf almost overnight. The other did it so quietly you barely noticed, until you looked at the numbers. So whose rise to the top was actually more dominant, Tiger Woods or Scottie Scheffler? Here's the trap. Tiger was a cultural earthquake, so we assume he wins this on reputation. Scheffler is quietly putting up some of the cleanest numbers golf has ever recorded, so we judge them one way, by how far each man separated from the rest of the field. 7 lenses weighted equally. Speed to world number 1. Win rate, major results, strokes gained separation, consistency, field strength, and peak aura. Same test for both. 2 players. Tiger Woods, who turned pro in 1996 and detonated. Scottie Scheffler, who has owned the world ranking for most of the 2020s. 2 rises, 1 test, same numbers. Lens 1. Speed to number 1. Tiger turned pro in the summer of 1996 and reached world number 1 on June 15, 1997, his 42nd week as a professional. He was 21 years and 24 weeks old, the youngest number 1 in history. Scheffler's path was different. He needed almost 4 years as a pro just to win, but once he did, the climb was the fastest ever. From his first PGA Tour win to world number 1, 6 weeks. He was 25. Line up the 2 climbs. From first PGA win to the top, Scheffler was faster. 6 weeks to Tiger's roughly 8 months. But Tiger got there younger, 21 to 25, and he'd already lapped a major field by 12 shots on the way up. Both are absurd, but they're not equal. Scheffler owns the fastest sprint once he got going. Tiger got to the top younger, faster from the day he turned pro, and he'd already won a major by 12 shots before he ever reached number 1. Lens 1, Tiger. Lens 2, win rate. In the year 2000, Tiger Woods entered 20 PGA Tour events and won 9 of them. A 45% win rate, he finished first or second in 65% of his starts. That is not a typo. Scheffler's answer is his 2024. 7 PGA Tour wins in a single season, including a stretch where he won 8 of 15 starts from March onward. Genuinely historic. But 53% over a hot stretch isn't 45 over a whole year of 20 starts. And he was never out of it. In those same 20 starts, Tiger finished top 10 17 times, 85% of the time, with 4 runner-ups and not a single missed cut all year. And zoom out on Scheffler's whole rise. 20 PGA Tour wins and 4 majors, all before turning 30. The only other players in history to do that, Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus. That's the company he's already in. 7 wins is a career year for almost anyone. Tiger's 9 and 20, with a top 2 in nearly 2 of every 3 starts, is the highest bar golf has. Closer than you'd think, but Lens 2, Tiger. Lens 3, majors. This is where the rise gets decided. By the end of 2002, 6 years in, Tiger had won 8 majors, and at one point held all 4 at once. The Tiger Slam. Nobody in the modern era has done that. And it's not just how many, it's by how much. The 1997 Masters, won by 12 shots, a record. The 2000 US Open, won by 15, the largest margin in major championship history. He wasn't beating the field, he was lapping it. In 2000 alone, he won the US Open, the Open Championship, and the PGA, 3 majors in a single calendar year. The next spring, he completed the career Grand Slam at 24, the youngest player ever to hold all 4. Scheffler's major record is excellent, but it's a different scale. 4 majors so far, 2 Masters, a PGA, and an Open. His best winning margin in a major is 3 shots, and he still hasn't won a US Open. 8 majors versus 4, with a slam Scheffler hasn't approached, and margins of 12 and 15 against a best of 3. This one isn't close. Lens 3, Tiger, and it's the biggest gap yet. Lens 4, strokes gained, the cleanest measure of separation we have. At his 2000 peak, Data Golf estimates Tiger was worth 3.88 strokes per round, better than the average tour field. The highest mark anyone has posted since at least 1995. Now here's why Scheffler belongs in this conversation at all. In 2024, he gained 3.28 strokes per round, the first time anyone has held over 3 for a full season since 2010. His approach play, 1.27 strokes around, was 57% clear of the next best player on tour. And it isn't only ball striking. In 2024, Scheffler led the entire tour in birdies, 4.88 around, made the second fewest bogeys of anyone, and posted a 68.6 scoring average. Relentless, low-mistake golf. So Scheffler is the only player who has ever come close to peak Tiger by this measure. Close. 3.88 to 3.28, 60 hundredths of a stroke every round, separates the best modern golfer from peak Tiger. Lens 4, Tiger. Lens 5, consistency. And finally, Scheffler hits back hard. From May 2023 to June 2026, he sat at world number 1 for 157 straight weeks. He's held the top ranking for 191 weeks in total, and he's still there today. And the week-to-week floor is the real story. Scheffler has been PGA Tour Player of the Year 4 seasons in a row, the first man to do that since Tiger from 1999 to 2003. He doesn't just win, he's in contention nearly every single time he tees it up. The numbers behind that floor are absurd. 16 top 10s in 2024, and he opened the season with 13 straight top 20 finishes, tied for the most in the tour's modern era. He's almost never not in contention. But Tiger's consistency record is the wall everyone measures against. 142 consecutive made cuts from 1998 to 2005. 7 straight years without one weekend off. It may never be broken. Tiger's counter is real. 142 consecutive made cuts, still the record. But for a pure rise, holding number 1 almost without interruption from the moment you arrive is the definition of consistency. Lens 5, Scheffler. Lens 6, field strength, and this matters more than fans admit. The modern PGA Tour is the deepest it has ever been. Far more players capable of an elite strokes gained week than in 2000. Tiger's huge separation was partly a thinner field. Scheffler is pulling away from a much bigger pack. Tiger's separation was bigger, but part of that is a thinner top of the field. Scheffler is grinding down a deeper, better coached, data-armed generation. On the quality of competition faced, Lens 6, Scheffler. Lens 7, peak aura, the gap at the very top. Tiger spent 683 weeks at world number 1 across his career, the most ever, and at his peak he was the betting favorite by margins bookmakers had never priced before. He was the show. Scheffler is a heavy favorite most weeks, but he wins by 2 and 3. Tiger won by 12 and 15, held all 4 majors at once, and moved the entire sport. On sheer separation at the peak, Lens 7, Tiger. In the single best week of either rise, Pebble Beach, the 2000 US Open. Tiger won by 15, the largest margin in major history, finished at 12 under, and was the only player in the entire field to break par for the week. Put their peak seasons side by side and the separation is right there in the numbers. Tiger's 2000 against Scheffler's 2024, wins, majors, strokes gained, the youngest age to the top, and the widest major margin. So it comes down to this. Scheffler is the most consistent force the modern game has, against deeper fields than Tiger ever saw. But dominance is about separation, and one number settles this. The verdict. Tiger Woods had the more dominant rise, 5 lenses to 2. Not because he's more famous, but because he's separated from his field by a margin no golfer has ever matched, including the best modern player who's ever lived. Here's why. 3.88 strokes around. That's how far above the field peak Tiger stood, and nobody, not even Scheffler at 3.28, has come within half a stroke of it. Tiger didn't just win. He made elite golfers look ordinary. But be fair, because this is genuinely close. Scheffler has the cleaner data, faces a far deeper field, and his week-to-week consistency is the best the game has ever seen. If you value sustained dominance against modern depth over raw peak separation, Scheffler is a perfectly reasonable pick. Lens by lens, speed to number 1 Tiger, win rate Tiger, majors Tiger, strokes gained Tiger, consistency Scheffler, field strength Scheffler, peak aura Tiger, final score Tiger 5, Scheffler 2. The two rises in one frame, Tiger, the wider peak, Scheffler, the cleaner, deeper, more sustained modern run. One built the bigger shockwave, the other may never give up the number one ranking. Tiger by the numbers, Scheffler by a hair, and reasonable people will fight about it. So tell me which lens should matter most, explosive peak, modern consistency, or strength of field. If you want these settled with data instead of takes, subscribe. There's a new video every day.